Are you experiencing load control problems on your water break dyno? If so, excessive backlash might be the culprit. As a quick reminder, backlash can be defined as a lost motion when a direction change occurs. In other words, it's a period where there is an input but no output after a direction change. In this case, we can see there is about a half turn of backlash on this load control valve. I'm rotating it by hand from one extent of the backlash to the other. In other words, I rotate it to one point until I start feeling resistance in the valve, and then I rotate it the other direction until I feel that same amount of resistance. The resistance that I start to feel in either direction is when it actually starts to turn the cartridge inside the load control valve. That period in between both points is the amount of backlash in this particular valve. In the case of this load control valve, the backlash is caused by two major things. First, it's running through a 10-to-1 reduction gearbox. Gearboxes, by their very nature, always introduce some amount of backlash into a system. The second major factor causing backlash in this case is the fact that the valve itself actually has a loose set screw on the shaft. I did this purposely for this demonstration, but it's definitely possible that this can occur in any installation. Once I have moved the handle out of the backlash region, you can hear the load change on the engine since the valve is actually moving and changing the amount of water entering the brake. Once again, you can see that half turn of backlash right here. And then again, we'll continue moving beyond the region of backlash and you'll hear the engine load change. The reason we want to reduce backlash as much as possible is because it increases latency in the load control system, and that makes it really hard to tune. After you've reduced backlash as much as possible on the mechanical side of things, you can then introduce another level of backlash control in software. The way that this works is that the software will implement a backlash compensation, which uses a user-defined amount of backlash in the software, so it will move the valve by that much every time a direction change occurs. So if you're experiencing load control problems on your water break dyno, excessive backlash might be the culprit.